So I'm going to go ahead and click New Offer, and I'm making sure that I'm selling, not buying. And I'm going to, just for testing purposes, say that I am selling 5 DAI, and I want this trade filled pretty quickly, so I'm going to say that I will take 4 fiat currency units in return. And in this situation, I'm going to be traveling in Brazil, so I don't want to use the banking system. So by the time I get to Brazil, I want to know how I'm going to get some Brazilian real. Okay, so now I've got my DAI amount in and my fiat amount. I've already got some DAI on the network over here in my MetaMask. So now I'm going to go down and have a look and decide how long I want this offer to be available for. I'm leaving pretty soon for Brazil, so I'm going to say 5 days. And my payment window is how long the buyer of my DAI actually has to meet me or make a bank transfer or give me cash or anything like that. And then we have the release window, which is after I've received the funds from the buyer. Either I can release the DAI payment to him or burn it if he hasn't performed. So that's that, and then we're going to go to payment methods, and here I'm going to be pretty detailed, so I'm going to say I'll meet you outside the W Hotel on Main Street, Rio de... Okay, so this is being pretty detailed. You make sure that you put enough information here to be identified, and so that the transaction goes through as smoothly as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead here and click save, and that's pretty much it. So again, what I'm selling, for how much, and how long my offer is valid for, and payment window, and then my release window, and of course payment methods. So I'm just going to go ahead and click open trade. It's going to warn me how much DAI I would need to lock up in this contract, and that I'm expecting 2 signatures that I'm going to need to sign with MetaMask. So yes, I want to do that, and I can see there's some stuff waiting for me on MetaMask that I just need to sign, and I'm expecting a second one too, so we'll just wait for that to mine on the chain. Okay, so that's the first one confirmed, and we're just going to sign the second one. So we're just waiting for that to mine, and just like that we have an offer put together. So all the information here, we can of course remove and refund, which I don't want to do because I do want the fiat. This is how long is still left over of this offer that's open, and a little bit of information as to what's going on here, and payment and release. So now we'll see that my trade is showing up on the marketplace over here, and now we wait. Hopefully someone picks up my trade and wants to fill it.
So I'm currently in the DAIHard marketplace, and there's a couple of things that I can do here from the outset. So I can actually toggle between different offer types. So at the minute I'm looking at all offers from people who are selling DAI, but I can also then look at offers from people who are looking to buy DAI. In this case, I'm actually looking to buy DAI myself, so I'm going to go back to the list of sell offers. What I can do here is actually set a range of DAI that I'm interested in seeing, as well as the specific fiat type, and then to search for specific keywords within these payment methods. And this will kind of help me filter down this list for trades that I'm interested in for myself. So I'm interested in the second trade. So if we drill into the details of that a bit more, I can see that it's got almost 5 days left on the expiry. So lots of time to claim it if I do want to claim it. They're selling 5 DAI for 4 Brazilian real, which is a really good margin for me. I can see that this trade is in Rio on the 15th of April, which is next week, and it's a cash in-person trade. Cool. I'll be in Rio next week, so that's all good. I can see the payment window is 3 days, so that's nice and long. Gives me a bit of a cushion if there's something, something goes wrong here and I don't get to hand over the cash first time round. And then the auto release is also 3 days, so also fairly long, but I'm not in a huge hurry to get the DAI straight away. So this actually works out pretty well for me. So let me look at this offer in a bit more detail. So at the top, this is basically just a rundown of what I've seen before. I can see the offer is still open, how much is being offered and how much I would need to give. Because it's not a US currency, we haven't got a margin for this yet, but that's coming soon. And something else pretty cool which is coming is the ability to see the stats of the initiator. So I can see how many times this person has burnt someone, how many times they've released, which kind of gives me an indication of how trustworthy they are in this case. So here I can see that we're still in the open phase because this is blue. And this just gives me a bit more detail so I can see, okay, they put 5 DAI into the contract and I need to give them this much in return. And to become the buyer, I need to put up 1/3 of this into the contract as well as a deposit. So if everything goes well in the end, then all the DAI that's in the contract, so the 5 DAI plus this, will be released back to me. But if something goes wrong, there's punishments on both sides. So it's really important that we work together to kind of get this trade through. So it says don't commit to this trade unless you can fulfill one of the methods. So I need to be super careful that I can actually fulfill what the guy's asking for, so we don't bugger it up together. So if I go back to the payment window, I can see, yep, nice and long payment window. If something goes wrong during the trade, so say I abort the trade or I forget to click confirm payment, which I don't see how I would, but if I do, then 1/4 of my deposit gets burnt and the same amount is burnt for the seller. So we both lose out and we really don't want to do that. Then in the release window, this is where I wait for the seller to make a judgment. So if they're happy that I've given them the money, then they'll release all the funds to me. But if they think that I've skimped them, then they'll burn everything. So we both lose everything that we put in. So we really want to avoid this happening. So let me double check that everything's okay with the accepted payment methods. This one is very specific, so a very specific time and date. But since the payment window is 3 days, there's probably a bit of wiggle room there. So that's something that we can negotiate. And then just very specific details about what to wear for the trade, which is quite interesting. Okay, so I'm actually going to confirm that I'm going to go through with the trade. So a window just pops up that I'm putting this amount in as a deposit, and there's a couple of MetaMask signatures that I need to go through afterwards. So yeah, I'm happy. Let me go through with it. So MetaMask is coming up. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me confirm. And now I know I'm going to have to go through another MetaMask transaction to push this through to the next phase. Okay, so that's gone through. So let me confirm, and then hopefully this will get pushed through to the payment window. Okay, fabulous. So it's now 15th of April. I'm in Rio. I've given over the money. He's happy. I'm happy. Everyone's happy. All the payments been delivered as promised. So I'm now actually going to click confirm payment to say that I've done what I've needed to do. So let me go ahead and do that. So again, MetaMask is going to ask me to push this through. So I'm happy to do that. And then we should go through to the release window. So this is where I await the judgment of the seller, and they have to confirm that I've given them the money, which is fairly easy to do because this was in person. But if for some reason they said that I didn't, they would then burn everything. But this would obviously then go on their stats. So yeah, now we wait and see, and hopefully everything goes to plan.
Okay, so where I was last time was that I placed the sell offer and put in my details and my payment terms, and since having done that, someone actually picked up that offer, and we got together and payment was made. And so now all I need to go do is to go through and release the funds that are left in the smart contract. So over here we can see the Brazilian Real offer that I've got, and this went through well. We can see here that I opened it, and that payment was actually made. So now it's basically just up to me to release the payment, both to myself and to the person that gave me the cash. Everything was adhered to, things went smoothly. If they didn't, I could always go and burn everything. That would burn my funds that are locked in the contract and burn the funds of the buyer if they didn't perform. So we both have a pretty good incentive to perform, and seeing as the transaction went through smoothly, I'm just going to go ahead here and click release everything. And of course I need to just sign that transaction using MetaMask. So I'm going to click confirm over here. So now we're just waiting for that to mine. And we can see that the trade's been closed, the status is updated, and bang, there we go. And just like that, we've both had our MetaMask balances updated over there, and everybody's been paid and everybody's happy. So that's placing a trade on DAIHard.